Hello you guys, welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. Today I am going to be doing some decluttering and organizing of the primary bedroom here. This is probably our most neglected room in the whole house for some reason. We just toss stuff in here and never get back around to organizing it or going through it. So we've got baskets like in the corner back here that need to be gone through and organized. We've got lots of clothes in the closets and drawers that need to be gone through, see if it needs to be donated or kept, just all of those kinds of things. So let's get to it. So here's a quick glimpse at some of the areas that desperately need decluttered. You can see this basket piling up and overflowing over here with stuff sitting all around it. My nightstand dresser drawer, or my nightstand drawer here, is just a disaster with all the cords everywhere. I have this packed from like vacation or whatever and never really fully unpacked it, and it's just spilling out here. So I would like to get this drawer organized better. And then over here is my husband's basket for all his stuff. As you can see, our kids' books end up in here too. So I'm gonna try to organize this basket as well. And as far as our closet goes, we honestly have a pretty small walk-in closet. I'm thankful it is at least a walk-in closet, but it's still relatively small. So we've got lots of baskets up here, just storing extra stuff, clearly overflowing with things. And it's been a long time since I've gone through them. So I'm gonna go through those and see if there's any clothes in those that can be donated. So you just saw the areas that we're gonna be decluttering. That's kind of what it's gonna be for today, is those specific areas. I'm not doing like a whole massive primary bedroom declutter, just sticking with these couple of areas that desperately need it. But those areas will make a big difference in just like our organization and use of this room every day. So the first place that I'm gonna start is with this basket in the corner. So I'm gonna get some of the stuff off the top of it, bring it over to the bed here, and just start taking everything out of it. And here are all the things that have fallen behind the basket. There's some slippers, some trash, some extra bags, just a little bit of everything hiding behind it. So I'm gonna get this picked up here. Currently in this basket, there is a little bit of everything. We've got packing cubes. I've got extra clothes that never made its way back into the closet. I think it was like a lot of my winter clothes, like my leggings and some long sleeve shirts and a Halloween costume right here. This was a Star Wars Halloween costume that was piled up over here. There's some Christmas t-shirts, so a lot of clothes that never made its way back into a closet. There's also some books, lots of cords, and a little bit of everything hiding in this basket. So I'm just going to go through it, and clearly it needs some organizing and some decluttering. This old Target bag right here was filled with all kinds of extra cords. There were extension cords and old technology cords, and so I'm gonna just take that down to our storage room. I don't want to get rid of any of them in case we actually need it, but it's not something I need up here, so I'm just gonna set that into our storage room. And here I'm just gonna continue to go through some of the clothes that's piled up in here. So basically my method for decluttering this basket is just to pull everything out and group items with like items. So the books all go together, the clothes all go together, the cords all go together, etc. Also, right here, you will see we have a bunch of resistance bands. If you're new here, my husband's a physical therapist, and so am I. So we have lots of these resistance bands all over the house, basically. So I think there's a few more resistance bands we'll find in this basket in just a few minutes. So yeah, when you're a physical therapist, you tend to have random stuff like this lying around your house. So for these two piles of books, I'm just going to move these to our storage area in our basement because they're not ones I'm quite ready to get rid of, but nothing that we're currently using. Okay, so I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but do you sometimes forget to take the tags off of baskets and other random things, as you just saw there? I've had this basket for quite a while, like literally a couple of years now, and this tag is still on it. So in a few minutes here, you'll see it gets taken off finally. But does anybody else ever do that with baskets or other things? Obviously like clothes and things like that. I don't usually do that, but like other storage baskets or things, like I just sometimes forget to take the tag off of them. So as you can see, I'm just putting some of the stuff that I'm not getting rid of and that I feel like needs to stay up here back into the basket. Right here, this is some of like my camera equipment that's just been sitting in the Amazon box, and so I'm just gonna put it in the actual case that it's supposed to go in. And the few things that I kept in this basket up here, in general, it's just some slippers and some of our packing cubes for traveling and some of my filming equipment. And then the final thing is the weighted blanket. I don't really use that a lot this time of year because it's too hot, but I definitely enjoy that in the cold winter months. So next up is this bedside drawer of mine. It is a disaster. There are cords everywhere. So again, first thing I'm gonna do is work on getting everything out of this drawer and then try to get everything organized by like items. So here I'm just grouping together some of my journals that I keep in my nightstand, and then I start grouping together some of the cords. I have a pack of these fabric bags that kind of zip shut, so that's what I'm going to be trying to organize all of the cords into, and I'm trying to organize them all by like all the headphones go together, all the charging cords go together, just all of those kinds of things. Also, does anyone else have like 8,000 pairs of headphones that they keep lying around their house, or is that just us?
Another touch of fool's gold, a lost rush season. Almost found a way to break through. Believe me that the sideshow is finally over. Nothing left to try and tame you. Dragging on a dirt road, spinning. Both my best friends grin and say I'm doing the best I can. You lit my head off in the dark. I'm so glad I broke it off and I do it over again.
Now that I got everything grouped by like items, I'm gonna start putting everything back into this drawer in a much more organized way.
We were falling out of love, knowing I'm all the strangers at this point in time, chasing thrills with the danger. We used to feel alive, want to be for each other. Said alone at night, keeping all my composure. It's a lie. It's a lie. My shoe's not in a great state, the soul's out.
Now it is on to these baskets in the closet. So I'm going to take each of these down. I'm going to go through every single one of these and figure out what I can donate and what's going to stay, and try to get everything kind of a little more reorganized by like items again. So like the sweaters will stay together. I have a bunch of themed or seasonal, I guess you could say, t-shirts that I wear for work a lot. Since I work at a school, I like to wear a lot of like fall themed t-shirts in the fall, or as it gets close to Halloween, I have some Halloween shirts. And then for Christmas, I have a lot of like seasonal Christmas t-shirts that I can wear for work. So anyways, you get the idea. I'm going to try to group all of those t-shirts together in a basket and so on. So that way I can hopefully find the things I need at the top of my closet a little more easily.
Worn out, running through the streets that would raise me. Cherish the nights that hold me from fading. Slowly the lights above still got me. Back on the track, I got off. No worries to do this love. Memories don't fade into flames. But part of me wants to feel something in the moment. Let it rush in when I know it's never the same.
So let me know in the comments down below, are you somebody that is able to declutter your clothes easily and like easily part from clothing items, or do you hang on to items for a really long time before you finally get rid of them? For me, I don't know. I have a hard time getting rid of things because I always feel like, oh, there'll be a time where I'll wear that again, or there's a time I'll need that t-shirt again or whatever. So I have a really hard time getting rid of clothes. I actually had a pile in here of maternity clothes that I had never gotten rid of. Again, my youngest is now 5, my oldest is 7. I don't think we have any plans for any more kids, so I'm not really sure why I was still holding on to maternity clothes, but I was. So that is definitely going in the donate pile.
Through the years I got so used to the falls. Carousel of emotions come to swallow me whole. Dried up tears and after parties, turned the table for one. On my lonesome I'll go. You can't take that away from me. Sunset painted skies, those floated days on my skin. If I'm right back at the start, I wouldn't change the end. 'Cause we were falling out of love, knowing I'm more than strangers at this point in time. Chasing thrills with the danger. We used to feel alive, hard to be for each other. A lonely night, keeping all my composure tonight.
So I'm going to start to get some of these baskets put back up into the top of the closet. I was able to get rid of a lot of clothes, which also just made room for some of the clothes that I had taken out of that very first basket that was in the corner. The clothes that was in there are going back into some of these baskets, or at least the ones I decided to keep are going back into these baskets. So I was hoping to be able to get like one of these baskets a little more empty, but again, like I said, I have a hard time getting rid of things. You see that pile on the left? That's the pile I'm donating, so that's actually pretty good for me. So here's a look of the piles we've got going on here. This is the pile that's going to get donated. And then over here, these are some of the old Halloween costumes that were at the top of the closet or in that basket that are going to go to the storage area, and as well as the books that are going to go to the storage area. Now the basket on this side of the room, this is kind of my husband's side of the room, and this is his basket of stuff. So there won't be really much I'm getting rid of from this basket because I don't know what he honestly wants to keep. But I do know there are a lot of like empty boxes in here of things that can be at least put in the trash. So I'm going to try to go through here, once again, get everything taken out so I can see what we're working with. I'll then group everything by like items, sort through the trash, and then try to get everything put back into this basket in a more organized way so that he can actually see what he has in here rather than it all just kind of being piled in there. So here is the empty basket, and I'm gonna start putting some of like the bigger items, some of his like books and notebooks and things like that at the very bottom of the basket. My husband is an avid reader and he loves to read, so he's got a lot of books in here that I know he's already finished reading, so I will be moving some of those down to the basement as well. But some of them I'm going to keep in here because I know he's still reading through them or wants them to stay up here so that he can go back through them and things like that. Here's another one of those random medical items we have laying around our house being physical therapists. It's a blood pressure cuff. So I'm just going to get that put back into its case and into the basket. He also has a pile of cords in this basket, much like I did in my nightstand drawer. So I'm going to try to get those grouped together and separated out from the rest of this stuff. Here's a look at the progress and some of the things we're keeping up here. Obviously his books. We also keep a few like little flashlights in the case of like power outages. And then right here is a pile of trash that had accumulated in there. It was old boxes, old magazines, things like that. So I am gonna get those put into the trash. And here is the donate pile of clothes. I'm just putting them together in a trash bag. No, I'm not throwing them away. I am going to take them to like Goodwill or one of those like clothing drop boxes so that they can be donated. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but every time I get a bag of clothing together to donate, it usually takes me a good month to actually get it dropped off somewhere. And I don't know why I do that. I go through all this work to get things decluttered, but then take forever to get this final bag out of here. So the two pictures above our bed back here are really old pictures. Both are from when my son was only probably like 8 or 9 months old. Obviously my daughter wasn't even born yet, so we need to update these photos. I've had some photos that I printed off from Walgreens for months now, just sitting in the corner waiting to replace these. So finally today we're gonna do that. Now that we've got everything kind of organized a little bit and decluttered a little bit, we're gonna quickly switch out these photos before I forget and they sit over there for another couple of months. So for the longest time, my daughter's been asking, how come there's only pictures of Camden up there in your room and not any pictures of me? And I had to tell her, you know what? Mom's lazy and busy and life is crazy and I just didn't realize it. So we are gonna get these updated here. So like I said, I got these printed off at Walgreens, which I love getting my pictures from Walgreens because they almost always have like a 50% off coupon where you can get these large pictures for like next to nothing instead of for the original expensive price. So if you're needing some photos printed out, don't forget about Walgreens and look for their 50% off coupon that is always out there. That's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will catch you in my next one.